on the ground. And so her opportunity was particularly exciting. She was actually pushing us really hard about like, send the payment now, send the payment now. We've done all of the documentation, send the payment now. Like, I'm traveling, we'll pay. I have to press send, but I'm traveling. So she puts us under pressure. And that's exciting because we know that this business person is actually ready for the money and she knows exactly what to do with it. Yeah.
Thank you. So I love how you're just laughing.
It's very interesting. You know, one thing she never mentioned is when this opportunity came across, I had already signed a contract to supply dehydrated food. So that's a business-minded lady.
Without the dehydrator.
Without the dehydrator, I must mention.
You manifested
So
that.
when this opportunity came along, it was very easy for me to make a business decision of exactly where we wanted to inject the investment, because it was apparently close. In fact, let me just say, it was exactly the exact amount of money I needed to get the dehydration machine. So if that approach is, you know, spread to other farmer groups, other farmer women who are into agribusiness and food production, if they can, the approach is to be approached in this way where they are able to meet them at their need, to meet them and feel it at the ground what they need. Because what I've noticed and seen is that there's investment funds being put across, but not really understanding which direction it should go to. It's like a general fund, you know, you grab what you can and see what you can do with it. But if it's specific and we are able to be clear on where the money goes, how it's going to help the business grow, move from stage 1, 2, 3. So this for me with Africa Trust Group was very, very comfortable, first of all, because it was literally at my terms. They were able to come to me and say, look, if we're to give you so much, what are you going to do with it? I'll do this and the revenue is this and this is your return. So it's a very good opportunity. It's a win-win situation for both the investor and the business. So I'm really excited because, as you can see, we've even developed a more friendly approach. We talk and laugh about this all the time. Like I signed it without that dehydrator and you came along. So let's do this.
Yeah. Well, and it could have been even closer than that, because obviously in the hunt for accommodation here in Sharm el-Sheikh, I was worried I was going to have the two of them sharing a bed, which is a little bit even more.
Feeds into the bigger picture of them running businesses. I'm asking because I actually have a relationship with, she's actually gone to Zimbabwe quite recently, and she actually used to be training teachers in terms of business management. And I just would be really interested to know how you see that happening in the education sector and it feeding into women in sort of working in the business sector.
Yes, that was me. Yes, thank you. It's interesting that you asked that question because just last night, I think, the team and myself were having a discussion about how this has impacted my business, has impacted my community especially. And I was telling them a story about, by the way, 80% of my staff are women. And in my country, there's a lot of early marriage arrangements happening. So you'll find that at the end of the day, a young girl who's as little as 14, because when Kerry and her team came to visit my farm, one young girl who's now 17 caught their attention, and she works with me. And they reminded me, said, look, that little girl, how is she doing? She was good, she was funny and all that. And I started telling them a story about how she's gone back to school because of her payday. When she gets paid, she gets to be in an environment where there's somebody who's able to impact her positively. So with the women that I work with, I first of all understand the level of education they've gone up to. For them to get to be where they are and the situation they're in, what is going on. I must mention, I'm a social worker by profession. So automatically it drives me there. So I quickly understand what the challenges are. And sort of like, understand at which level they can start with school. So far we have 4 women that are going into school, back to school, while working, still running a home. So for me, it's an achievement to see that. Because I know when they're done with their school, they won't be at the level they are today. So for me, it's a ripple effect. If I am well equipped to run my business, then I'm well equipped to take care of my community, especially the women. So I am a living example of women who are actually benefiting from my business by going to school. I was telling the team, my first woman, she's the longest serving at my company. She's actually graduating high school next year. And for me, that's an achievement. And I was making them laugh. I was like, I want to make a big deal out of it. I want to do a party of some sort for her, so that it can motivate the others to join in and, get the interest. Because it's not all of them who are interested, because they feel they're done. They're married, they're done. That's the end. I'm for babies and working, that's it. But I'm trying to bring it on board to see that they see the value in themselves, that they can do better than where they are. So definitely we are incorporating education and the women development in our business.
I just want to clarify something. The woman that you said is the longest standing at your company who just finished high school. That doesn't mean that she started when she was 7 and you've been doing child labor.
No. Let me clarify that. So she came to me and started working for me when she's actually 27.
See,
So she's been working for about 6 years. So we must make that clear. It's not like she started at 7 and then no. But I was able to understand when she started working for me, I was able to understand at what level of education she ended at. So in my country, she ended at grade 4. I don't know what, 4th grade. That's where she ended. So for me, it was easy to understand and know how to sponsor her into our junior school, at what level she starts from. So she completed her junior school and now she's in high school completing next year. So it's that impact that we're trying to put across.
Thank you. It's a great question. And I think part of it is general education, right? There are some gaps. But I also think when you talk about education, for me, that also means thinking about more of this financial literacy, having more confidence about numbers and about bookkeeping and about business. I think another thing that we're seeing, not just in Zambia, but across the African continent, is this need to educate and build capacity of women to see farming as a livelihood, as a business, not just about growing food to feed their families, but that this is a commercial opportunity. And Gupi, I think, has been really great about really encouraging her women outgrowers to build their businesses and to actually create commercial opportunities. I'm getting timing thingies going off. I see hands kind of going up, and I've got Yoram here queued up. So, unfortunately, what I am going to do, just because I need to respect the Climate Stage's time schedule and all the other events that are lined up here today, I'm going to actually invite Yoram back up to the stage to give us a little bit of an overview of one of the key things that you heard today and that you want to take away from here. And then maybe I'll finish up on one or two last call to actions, and then I think Tess will wind up in the time frame that you have allotted for us.
Thank you, Carrie. It was a very insightful session. Maybe to start at the meta level, what I took away is a reflection on the just transition, which is something that Moby cared deeply about and want to facilitate. And I think is also a core theme of this COP. And I think we've had a lot of attention to the just part of that transition, which I think we have a moral obligation together to deliver on. There is, however, a challenge, and I think this discussion brought that out. The more you